Welcome, everyone, to Four Guys on a Couch. You know, we almost had a crisis today, but with us is the apricot. Good old Gavin Grant. He's making his debut today.
Hello.
Next to him, the philosophizer. I said Jason. Hola, G. I tried to. Yeah. And this podcast would not be possible without Brian Voss, the savior that came out of nowhere to save our potential Three Guy on the Couch podcast this week. You know,
Sheldon would have had to step in.
yeah, Sheldon, he doesn't talk much. He'll give us harsh opinions, but you know what? That's okay. So, getting our logistics out of the way, I guess. Like always, like the channel, subscribe to us, share our videos. They go up every Monday or Tuesday, depending on how I feel. Yeah. You know, the struggles are real. You know, we apologize for the music, like always. But coming soon, it'll be gone. That's all that matters, right, Jason?
Yes.
Jason is the happiest person about this. Hey, General Farley. Real quick shout outs. We know that 2 people are going to be watching us tonight, at least. Gotta give out a shout out to that man. His name is Louis. He's a wild card. He is the wild card. If you ever, that's his nickname if he comes on this podcast.
The wild card.
The wild card. Then, good old General Farley. Everyone salute. We salute you, sir.
Louis.
Okay. Gavin, this is your debut. You're supposed to say yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
You're going first, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. Take it away, Gavin.
All right. Well, I thought about my question for probably 3 minutes before coming up with it. And my question is, what medieval weapon would you have if we were stuck in Dark Ages?
Now, question. How big can our arsenal be? Is it just one weapon? Uno weapon?
I'll let you have 2.
2 weapons, okay. Okay. And does that mean only European weapons, or can we... They just have to be around that time frame of maybe...
European and Middle Eastern.
No Africa.
Jason's sad now. Okay. You want to go first since it's your question?
No, I want to hear opinions.
Okay, for me, definitely one of them will be bow and arrow, you know, steel tip arrows.
That's a very generic answer. There's a longbow, there's several types of bows.
Longbow. Are you happy now?
Yes, I am.
I did specify my arrows though. I said iron tipped.
Steel tipped.
Steel tip? Did they have steel during medieval?
Yes.
They have steel? Okay. Kind of lead arrows? Would that be better? You know, make them linger and go die a little
Add
bit.
some poison to it.
Add some poison, you know.
No.
But then I'm actually poke myself. So I'll go with steel tip arrows, and I wanted to go katana, but I can't make that happen
Because that's Asian.
Yeah. Maybe a scimitar or a broadsword. No, wait, were rapiers around during that time?
You know what type?
Medieval.
Medieval, so let's say from
Or is a bow staff an option?
the 11th century to like the 15th century.
Yes.
Pre-Renaissance, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah. No, there's crossbows, but they're the ones you have to crank.
Like the Chinese ones.
We're gonna go a good old broadsword.
I can see you in that.
Yeah, and my bow and arrow be like, you know, I'll be like part of the Fellowship of the Ring, you know, all the cool kids in that. I can't think of any of the characters' names right now. That's why. That's why. Oh, just real quick before we go on, feel free to answer the questions yourself in the audience. Okay.
what medieval weapon would you have if
You can have 2. You have 2. That's the option. And it's only European or Middle Eastern. Okay. We're just keeping that. reminders going as people rush to watch the most popular webcast on the internet.
True.
True story. So Jason, how about you? Kiddo?
I'd go with a crossbow and
You know these
a
are the
long
crank
sword.
ones.
Yes. And a long sword.
Longsword? Kind of longsword. Which one of them longsword? So are you going for the true longswords?
Yeah.
Okay. So like a British or a Roman design?
More British.
British? Okay. That's more of a broadsword. Broadsword has it's the long swords with the broad tip. Just throwing in my 2 cents. I watched Ultimate
Not my
Warriors.
favorite time period.
Okay.
The period after that.
And also there's no African weapons, so
Yeah. Sorry, still.
I'm curious if we did have African weapons, what would you choose?
There really aren't too many
hey buddy, can you
There aren't too many African weapons out there. There are some really nasty daggers. And some really nice spears. But other than their generic names, that's about it. They all have different names, but serve the same function.
Okay.
To kill people.
Or skin animals.
What about
Brian?
For my first one, I'm going to take a page from Henry's book. Use steel arrows with the English longbow. And for my second weapon, I am actually going to have to go with a Damascus steel scimitar.
See, the thing is for the scimitar, 'cause that's what I was thinking about. I just don't think it's not if you get because like if you're in medieval Europe, you're not going to move fast because they're going to have armor compared to if you're in the Middle East, they're not going to have armor, so that's more efficient to go fast. You need more brute force that's behind the blade. That's just my opinion.
Makes sense.
Continuing, I'm drawing out the topic.
General Farley says he would go with a battle axe and
Louis Warhammer. I can see Louis with a Warhammer.
To Louis,
With his
der
staff.
Svensk. Der Svensk. Remember?
What?
Där från Sverige. It's from Sweden. Scandinavian weapon.
You can have a new mirror. You guys, no one watched Thor. Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's what Darcy calls Mjolnir. She calls it Mjolnir. Okay, I'm sorry.
There's someone said to Valhalla.
So you said okay. Gavin, since you created this question,
what would you choose?
what would you choose? What are your options?
I would definitely pick a steel-tipped lance.
Okay.
And then also I'd have to stick with some good old bows and arrows. I would probably stick with more of a short range.
Short bow.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Like if we could have Japanese though, totally go katana. No one's gonna stop me there, because those things are strong. The cutting force you can put behind that thing.
I'm sure those things weigh.
Katana? They're so light. Yeah, they're pretty. So I have a hardwood katana, and it's supposed to be real katana. Is supposed to be half that weight.
How much is real wood?
The hardwood one, I think it weighs about 4 pounds.
Well,
It's supposed to be really. You on MythBusters, they got like 4,000 pounds of pressure from a slice or something. Some number that had 4,000 in it. I don't know what measurement. You know.
Its powers over 4,000. Its power level is over 9,000!
Hello, so third viewer.
Hello, third viewer.
What would be your
Hi.
medieval weapon of choice?
You need to speak up still.
What would be your medieval weapon of choice?
you can have 2.
No, I don't think they're answering.
Yeah.
They don't care about us. They're not cool. But just, prod this out a little more, because, just to round out the show, since we are talking about medieval, who do you think was the best medieval empire? Just to broad out the topic a bit.
I would have to say Genghis Khan.
You said no Asia, though.
That wasn't the question.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Easier
Eurasia.
Do you know he died from a nosebleed?
That sucks.
It's quite ironic. You think he died?
You think he died on the battlefield, or from a wound, or from the popular disease or poison?
Yeah.
No. Drunk stupor. Yeah.
Vlad the Impaler would be my military force in medieval. That guy was cool, but also was an efficient commander of killing stuff.
That's true.
And impaling them.
He killed him quite quickly.
I forgot how he died. He died young. I think he was assassinated.
According to Assassin's Creed.
Gosh darn it. We're already bringing the shenanigans tonight.
Assassin's Creed is the.
They're pretty historically accurate, though.
Yeah. I'm not too knowledgeable about that time period. So
What is the greatest African tribe ever?
you see, that's something people would argue though, because I can't necessarily just
In
say.
Jason's opinion,
Be biased.
be biased. Just say the Sudan Empire.
Heck no, that's me being biased. I mean, they did come pretty close. I mean, being really close to.
I mean, they fought off European invasion a lot.
I'd say Ethiopian.
Where's that who I'm thinking of?
They're probably thinking of Ethiopians. I'd say Ethiopian. They're the only African nation that's never been colonized.
Okay, then that's the one I was thinking of.
And they've been around since.
Or you can go good old Egyptian as well.
The Egyptians crumble from within.
Yeah.
This is a tough one, but I'm gonna have to go with.
Just say Prussian, I know you're gonna say it.
No, actually. The Holy Roman Empire.
The Roman?
Yeah, Roman Empire.
No, I don't think they were around.
Dark Ages, yeah.
Medieval.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Well, they were at the cusp of it, weren't they? But I thought they were in different states, city-states at that point. Okay,
Well,
never mind. Show us one.
Didn't they fall in like 8476?
We're talking about like 11.
Okay, well, in that case, probably the.
So I think they were just separated military states, weren't they?
Here's also Sweden.
Sweden?
Yeah.
The good old Vikings.
Who's your
Yeah.
favorite?
Who is your favorite military?
Military leader. Who's your favorite military leader? Okay, we'll just keep this topic going. Let's go. Military leader, probably Alexander.
Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
He seems more of an explorer.
No, he's
I mean-
skilled. He was skilled in combat. I mean, the only reason why he died was he got poisoned. But also he was drinking. That's it. How about you guys?
Favorite military leader, General Patton. America.
America. Now, favorite American probably. I don't know, favorite American. Like it's if you count Commander in Chief, probably say Andrew Jackson. No, let's go with Jordan.
Jackson.
No, Andrew Jackson. No.
If you're going marriage, I'm gonna say
Yeah, someone who is the same person. Terrible with nicknames of people. There's so many Jacksons during that time. Isn't there Cornwall Jackson as well?
Yeah.
Any other opinions on this topic?
If we're going fantasy-wise, Gandalf.
Gandalf?
He's a pretty good general.
Okay. I'll raise you one. Aslan. Yeah.
Lion.
Lion.
You can't argue with us.
Yeah. Anything else on this topic?
I would say Julius Caesar.
Julie,
Which one?
which one?
No, before Augustus Caesar.
Which one?
The one in the BC, the one that's left with Cleopatra.
Okay. You know, there's a lot of Julius Caesars.
In history.
They're all pretty much, they're all called Julius Caesar.
I like Caesar.
They were all killed by Brutus.
No. But for the one by Brutus.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Okay. Well, that's actually a pretty good drawn out topic, actually. Okay. Thank you all for watching so far. We are, like always, we're 4 guys on the couch. I'm Henry, Gavin, Jason, and Brian. Like the channel, subscribe to it. Share our videos, comment. We love a good conversation. So we're on topic number 2. Let's just get to it. Brian, bring on the soccer.
Okay, so in analyzing the recent stats for the Golden Boot, I noticed that Rodriguez of Colombia had taken the lead with 5 goals. Any opinions, anybody, as to who's going to actually take the award when all said and done?
Can you tell us the top 5 right now? Or at least all the tied people for 4 goals?
Messi, Neymar, and Müller are tied on 4. Rodriguez on 5.
Then is it both the Dutch on 3? Robin and Van Persie?
I believe so.
I just know this is, right now, if it stays on track, this will be the highest scoring World Cup in history.
Yep.
If you keep it on track, Can you go over the list again?
James Rodriguez of Colombia is first with 5 goals. Thomas Müller of Germany, Messi from Argentina, and Neymar from Brazil are tied on 4. And with 3 are Karim Benzema, Arjen Robin Van Persie, Xherdan Shaqiri, and Ener Valencia.
Okay.
And for 2?
No. Too many people. And Neymar and Rodriguez are the only 2 that played this round.
Correct.
So, which of course James pulled it up. He scored in every game for Colombia this World Cup. Which he's the first one. He's the youngest person to ever do that for a national. I'm not going to say Neymar. Messi, maybe if he continues, I can see him pulling up on what?
Messi dependence.
Messi dependence.
Yeah.
I want to go Thomas. It's hard to pick, but if I have my money and who has an easier path, I am going to go. I'm going to go James Rodriguez. I think how he's been playing as a youngster. He's becoming a Messi for his team pretty much. He's carrying him on.
That assumes he continues after playing Brazil, though.
No, I don't see Brazil beating Colombia. No, Brazil's going to lose to Colombia. There's only one South African team, or South American team that can see winning the World Cup, and that is Colombia.
Brazil looked pretty good in the later stage of the Brazil versus Chile game, with the exception of the crossbar shot taken by.
But you also have to remember, is Arturo Vidal left the game in the 60th minute because of getting knocked around.
Did not know.
Yeah, because before that he was controlling the game. Like, that's how big of a player and how much of an impact he is. The number 1 box-to-box midfielder in the world right now.
Like Mexico?
What? And Mexico? Mexico. He thinks Mexico's going to win the World Cup. Louis, we love you. There's nothing but hearts.
Mexico's not winning.
Mexico's not going to win the World Cup, Louis. And they're not a South American team. So,
They're Central America. Or North America.
Costa Rica is going to destroy them.
If you want my opinion on Mexico's chances, you better start listening in taps, because that's about what I think right now.
Brian, you need to watch your comments, though. we're a G podcast, maybe.
What did I say?
Nothing, I'm just kidding.
Bleep.
You're stirring the pot with our viewers.
The pot.
We need their viewership to be the number 1.
Well, hey, you know what America is?
podcast.
Start melting pot?
Okay. Who do you think, Jason? Who do you think's going to take that golden boot? It's not going to be a Nigerian now.
Sorry, Lily.
Louis, I said we love you.
If Colombia keeps going the way they're going, I'm going to call James Rodriguez.
I think he'll definitely win young player of the tournament.
How old is Rodriguez?
He is 22. You have to be 23 and younger to get the award. So, yeah, side note.
But if Brazil wakes up and Neymar finds his inner goal scorer, he just might.
I think he's going to fall under pressure.
I'm very unopinionated
He represents you guys that don't know about soccer.
about this. Yes, exactly. I will stick with Henry's choice because I trust that he knows soccer very well.
Okay. It's 3 for James Rodriguez. Brian, what's up, dog?
I'm actually gonna say that Thomas Muller wins it because of his opponents coming up. Germany playing Algeria in the first round, and
Algeria has been looking very, very good.
they drew with Russia. Need I say more?
They destroyed South Korea.
What scored that game?
5-2.
Hey then.
No, that's why I said they look impressive.
Well, I'm curious to know, like,
Not to
where
mention
South Korea
that
finished in the group
ball.
again?
Above Russia.
I thought they finished last.
That was just, we called that, what do we call that? The group of trash, right?
Yeah.
We called it the group of trash.
Louis calling Van Persie. What's y'all's opinion on Van Persie, though?
I think the smartest thing that Van Hal has done this World Cup is put Van Persie and Robin together up top.
Like a 4-4-2? Or
Yeah, they've been playing with 2 strikers, Van Persie and Robin.
I'll say this about Van Persie. He must go. His planet needs him.
I can't.
Don't
Persie.
hate on my United players.
I can't Persie.
I wasn't hating on him. I was actually making fun of his goal. He had the goal.
I'm just making sure they're on. So pressing buttons. Yeah. Gavin, you have no idea what we're talking about. So, Gavin, tell me, as an outsider, who's going to win the World Cup?
Who are the top leaders?
Like the big 4 right now that look impressive.
Yeah.
Well, you got your Germany, you got your France, you got the Netherlands. Not Mexico, Louis. Sorry, love you. And I would say Colombia. So they're the big 4 because you can't count. You have to count South America too.
I don't know. What about Costa Rica? Though? They've been killing.
I think they're going to. This is where I'm going to say is Mexico is probably going to beat. No, it's because the Netherlands are going to beat.
Mexico.
Yeah, and they're going to beat Costa Rica. I think Costa Rica is going to run out of luck eventually. I mean, it'll show because Greece is one of those teams that's very similar to Costa Rica. They play to tactics. So it's all going to depend, which I think that'll be good to see if Costa Rica is the real deal or is it just been they've been taking advantage of the environment.
Or on the subject, I'd like to think that Costa Rica will win their first game, but they'll lose to the Netherlands in the second game. They're playing Greece in the knockout round.
Yeah, but yeah, because Greece has no attacking power; they're all defense.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised they got through. But they, like I said, they're very similar. They play to the tactics of others. And that's how Costa Rica's been playing this World Cup. The Dutch have been doing that too. But the Dutch have been doing it very smartly.
Yeah.
So, Gavin, out of the story we just talked about, who do you think's going to win the World Cup?
Let's stick with the country I was born in, Germany.
Okay.
Alles für Deutschland.
Ich weiß nicht Deutsch. I don't know German.
You know Russian, but you don't know German. Okay. Any more? Like, what else do you want to talk about in the World Cup? This is your spot to talk
Your
about the World
moment
Cup.
to shine.
Team Nigeria.
I would like to talk
Delusion.
about
Okay, wait, real quick. Nigeria. Delusion or confidence? Okay, go.
I'm confident Nigeria can pull something off.
No, I meant Brian, go.
Okay, it's a good thing I didn't finish that statement.
Yeah, Jason. Best goalkeeper of the tournament. Who y'all think?
Yeah.
Goalkeeping has kind of been. I will give nod to Tim Howard. Tim Howard has had a phenomenal tournament.
I don't know. That's.
No, all the errors have been to other players on the team. Sleeping. He's wide awake. Tim has made some phenomenal saves. I will give another shout out to the Netherlands keeper. I forgot his name, but he's been playing.
Vorm?
No, Vorm has been starting.
Oh,
It's been some white guy that's blonde hair.
Sleece.
Maybe. I don't know. It's the one that plays in the Dutch league. No, Vorm plays for Swansea and starts with a K. The one that plays for Newcastle. Cruel plays for Newcastle.
Then Sleece. Okay.
Yeah, he's been playing very well. Colombia's keeper has been playing very well.
Nigeria's keeper's playing well.
Well, he's considered the best goalkeeper in Africa.
Nigeria's considered the best soccer playing country in Africa.
Really?
After winning the African Cup of Nations.
I would say Ghana, but they're in the group of death because of America. Newer has just been scaring me this whole World Cup because he comes out too often and just plays with the ball. So I'm not giving him the best because he's just crazy.
No, Louis, no Ochoa.
No, I have to say Ochoa. Louis, I have to agree with you. Ochoa's been playing phenomenal.
You mean Nochoa?
Ochoa. Or the Great Wall of Mexico.
The Great Wall of China.
Well, he didn't stand on his head against Brazil. I tend to think that Julio Cesar is going to win it just because of his performance today and saving Brazil from elimination against Chile.
There's been better keepers than Julio Cesar. I think there has been.
I mean, I'm not going to say he's undisputed the best. I mean, you certainly
What do you think?
But you did save them this World Cup.
I think it's going to be based off a keeper on the teams that go the farthest. So I think it's going to be Lloris has also been playing very well. I think it's going to be one of the semifinal nations keepers. So I see that the Dutch, the French, the German, or Colombian.
The French and the Germans can't both be in semifinals.
Well, I said either or.
Oh, of course.
I never mean one of them is going to have to be in the semifinals.
When you say the Germans and the French, are you referring to the Belgians?
Nice.
Courtois has not looked really good this World Cup. He's just been like he's there, but also his team has been playing lackluster.
I think it's a lack of chemistry, though.
Yes, I would agree with you. It's
I think part of it's they went to Amsterdam right before the World Cup, stocked up on some, illicit materials.
Serve. Can't hold you back, Brian.
I didn't mention it too bad. I just said they went to Amsterdam.
No, you were implying others, though.
That's for the viewer to determine.
Yeah. Okay. Any final words on the World Cup?
I call Nigeria winning it.
America. That's all I gotta say. America. USA, right? General Farley. USA.
The Belgians are getting through, and the French are getting through. The US isn't getting through.
I don't think the Belgians are getting through. They've been playing bad.
I think Howard's gonna outbuild Courtois in that game.
And with Company and Vermeulen now, or doubtful, I should say, they're not officially out.
I'm gonna give the game 1-0 to the USA.
Yeah, it's gonna be like something stupid. It's gonna be like a last-minute goal
by the US.
Yeah.
The US have been looking good like the last 2 minutes, the last 3 minutes.
Last 10 minutes. Let's go last 10 minutes.
Basically.
Well, in that Germany game, but the game before that, though, they played phenomenally in Portugal.
Yeah, it's just no one was there to defend Ronaldo's cross.
That's because Fabian Johnson fell asleep. And Jeff Cameron was the only one on the line that paid attention, and he got dropped to the bench. Gavin, anything to say about the World Cup?
America.
America! You heard it here first, folks.
You a smirk.
Let's give freedom.
Freedom for everyone if we win the World Cup.
Freedom for Texas.
Freedom for North Korea.
Thank you guys for watching so far. This has been 4 Guys on the Couch. You know, I'm Henry, Gavin, Jason, Brian. You know, the only reason why we're doing this is because of, you know, we break these up. So, yeah. That's why we say this every time when a new topic is brought up. So, like always, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share. Watch us live every Saturday at 7:30. Probably something I should talk about next week, since it's my sister's birthday. We're going live on Sunday at 7:30.
July 4th weekend.
Yeah. Moving over to that Sunday spot just for that weekend.
I would like to introduce a
nice
commentator.
one, General Farley.
Well, since
Because
it is
freedom
after
ring.
all-
What did you say?
Since it is after all going to be July 4th weekend,
You live in our country, you're going to do it. Okay. Speaking of Jason, what's your topic?
An expanded consciousness, and this is a really weird topic to tackle because.
But this is our intellectual topic of the day.
Don't put that kind of pressure on me. No, but in all seriousness though, a movie like Transcendence and a movie like Lucy, those two movies coming out.
This time's coming out.
Huh?
One's already coming out.
One's already come out and the other is on its way out. Yeah. Just talking about the expanded human consciousness, the expanded human brain, and knowing that the president's funding research in neuroscience to map the human brain, you know.
Well, the Human Genome Project has been going on for years.
But that's
completed.
What?
It's been completed, but it's still there's
They're not
still so
done.
much of the genome we don't know about. They've mapped all.
They've mapped everything, but they're still not done.
done
with
it.
everything.
Yeah.
It's not completed. They haven't published a paper on it. You know, type thing. Like, we're done. We're finished. Finished in French. That one.
Yeah. But moving ahead, like the movie Transcendence talked about uploading one's consciousness onto a computer. You know, in this day and age where we're becoming more and more conjoined with computers. I mean, what do y'all think about that? Would you? Yeah. I mean, would you want to be integrated with a computer? It meant expanding your capability.
Have y'all seen Ghost in the Shell?
No.
Okay, well, it's an anime that everyone, all their consciousness have been put into android bodies. And they can constantly, if their body breaks, they can constantly be re-uploaded. You know, they just get a new body if they break an arm or something like that. But if they're, you know, like their AI core, or their core is broken, then they're completely dead. And it's about robot. It's about people that investigate those types of crimes. Yeah. No, it's just throwing it out there. What was your question? What do you think about it?
What do you think about it? What do you think about joining, like, fusing yourself with technology at a more
Kind of
deeper
like
level?
Android or cyborg.
Yeah,
Kind of like cyborg.
uploading your consciousness to a computer, or allowing a computer upgrade you per se.
Like, I am not for kind of my consciousness going to, you know, a computer, whatnot. So I think when I die, I should die. You know, it's one of those things. But if it's like, you know, like if I completely, my arm get taken off by an alligator, you know, just clean cut, and having a robotic arm or, you know, different technology to help improve my life that's grasped on, or like, you know, have you seen in those movies, you know, like either through your eyes you can see like data here while you're doing all this stuff, you know, walking and whatnot,
So good with
and
that.
like shooting up, you know, here something like enhancing your life, but not, you know,
Touching your brain.
touching my brain. Yeah, like something that's more focused on that messing with my brain and putting my consciousness in something else. It's like, what if it doesn't work? What if there's a mishap in that process? So, I mean, the only thing I can think of is if it's like, it's the only way to save me, and I'm still young. You know? But if I'm like in my 70s, I'm like, screw it, I'm dead. But if it's in my bright young years, like my 30s,
Because 30 is young.
it would also have to do with my situation. 'Cause, you know, like transferring, if you're like your body's going to completely die from cancer, and you can move your consciousness to a robotic body, I mean, I can see it as a good application. You know, like it's terminal. You know, that's the only way I can really see it.
Do you trust your moral decisions to a computer?
Well, it's not your computer's not taking over. You just have a new body.
I mean, your consciousness, no one really knows how far.
Well, if they're doing this for everyone already, then I don't have a problem with that. If it's just an experiment in like at MIT, then I have a problem. Just watch the series finale now of Community.
go.
Well, the guy was researching how to make a computer have emotions, and unleash the whole inner circuitry of gold. It was funny. It was good stuff. Okay.
I mean, well, what do y'all think? Would you upload your consciousness to a computer?
I would argue against it because one, computers are always would be hacked. Two, computers can't make moral decisions. They have the best thing you can say about a computer is that it has an algorithm and it makes decisions based on a process. And what if the process is something that's socially taboo or questionable, or is just something that's considered incorrect by society, and then you're frowned upon for the rest of ever, really. I can't see myself ever being forced such a thing.
What if it was more like it was just a robotic body, and there's no computer influencing you whatsoever?
Well, in that case, I don't know. I might be for that.
Oh, sorry guys, we're still here. Like always, we just have the struggles.
The struggle is real.
The struggles are real. That's what we talk about all the time.
Oh, so there's only one struggle? Okay.
We have multiple struggles.
I would say, for this to even make sense in my head, that we'd have to somehow preserve our body in the same time doing this process, because
This is for you, John Farley. No, just keep on talking.
because if not, then once our body decays and dies, our consciousness goes with it. I don't see how there could be any way of taking that away from us. And so, my opinion is that if this came out, there would have to be very good technology to preserve our body in the meantime, because if not, everyone would just die because their bodies would decay and they wouldn't want to leave their virtual life.
While we're on the subject, I'd like to bring up a recent experiment out of Pittsburgh, where there are trials of suspended animation, as it's called, where the body is essentially lowered in temperature by 40 or 50 degrees Fahrenheit in order to keep it alive. I mean, in order to basically, it's basically killing you to save you. So if you're nearing death, and the people who are operating on you want more time, and they essentially induce hypothermia in your body in order to reduce oxygen requirements for the blood, and then maybe something like that could be used to preserve the body. To answer your question. So.
I still feel though that without machines constantly giving our bodies nutrition, our necessities of life, there would have to be a lot of technology running at the same time.
Oh, well, now that you address that issue, my point's been argued for.
But that's a good point. Kind of like slowing the heartbeat down.
Yeah, that's what
to
it was.
cause
Optimize the body for long-term
preservation.
Crowd freezing? Remember that?
King
That
of
was the
Fed?
thing? Crowd sleep.
Yeah, just encouraging to freeze you for 1,000 years, so you end up in the year 2000 in New York.
It'll be 3014 now. We did this year.
The World Cup again.
Oh, no. Would it be the World Cup though? Would
That's-
the World Cup exist still?
No, that's a question to ask.
Would the world even exist still?
The world's going to use this.
Would I have died by then?
I mean,
Well,
the
if you'd been frozen or kept in suspended animation for 1,000 years.
No, but if the world completely gets destroyed.
It'd be like Final Fantasy X Blitzball.
Blitzball? That's just the answer?
Yeah.
Blitzball.
Baseballs.
I bet you Chris Skelton, I know you just missed this episode because of Blitzball. He's addicted to Blitzball.
Is that what he's doing?
No, I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, okay.
He said important things that he couldn't pass up.
Sure.
And Toby Van Lore is just a loser. He was going to be the fan favorite, but not anymore.
That's what the producer says.
That's what the producer says, guys. Producer / host.
With that being said, the uploading of one's consciousness. There's this TED video I saw, the professor not necessarily talking about uploading your consciousness, but enhancing your ability to acquire information and process information. So
Kind of like a microchip on your brain.
Not a microchip, but nano robots.
Okay, nanorobotics. I have seen too many sci-fi shows where that goes wrong. So I'll say no.
Yeah, or nanobots. You'd ingest nanobots, and these nanobots would
Enhance your body.
enhance your body, fix it when it needs fixing, allow your brain to access certain amounts of information at a certain point in time. So I wouldn't need to pick my phone up to ask Google a question. I could simply access XYZ number of posts or papers and simply say, okay, fine. And simply use my inbuilt ability to analyze information to make that
To
decision.
figure it out.
Yeah. So it would basically just be a hard drive with access to the internet.
Here's a question. We're on the subject of nanobots. Is there something similar to what Lance Armstrong did in Tour de France? He doped off nanobots.
Is that what he did?
He blood doped, yeah. I don't know if he used nanobots.
I don't know.
The question is, would this enhance?
That didn't
performance?
end well for Fry.
No.
I mean, it would depend on the design
Another
of the
Futurama
nanobots.
reference.
Yeah.
I've watched too many episodes of Stargate because it happens a lot in Stargate that nanobots ruin everything, and also Star Trek. So I am, unless they've been on the market for like 15 years and there hasn't really been any incidents, that's when I'll inject.
The nanobots are just funny.
Because I've watched too many episodes of
Yeah,
sci-fi
man.
shows
Shoot up like Barry Bonds.
That's how the zombie apocalypse will happen.
because of
Overall lore controller.
It's like Skynet.
Hackers and videos.
do musical numbers.
Yeah,
It'd be
but-
phenomenal.
That's all. That's my question.
This kind of brought up something to mind. I forgot what kind of cell it is, but there's some type of cell that's found in our brain. They contain, I'm totally blanking on information right now, but
A brain cell.
yeah, it's a special type of brain cell that when an infant is in the womb, this brain cell gene is what creates more organs. It's what creates
Stem cells?
stem cells. Thank you.
Oh,
And
I was thinking I was going a completely different direction on that one.
And it just kind of reminds me of kind of what the capabilities of nanobots would be, because these stem cells can, if we were able to access them, they could regrow an arm.
there's research that's being done on that right now.
So I think that's a little more reliable than a good old nanobot.
Nanobot.
Because I have not watched any
There was
sci-fi
a-
episodes with it.
Or on some, there was a chemical, I think it was developed by the U.S. Army. They they tested it by cutting someone's finger or by cutting the tip of someone's finger in a helicopter rotor, and it regrew back because the application of the chemical within like a week.
Tip, do you mean like that much? Or like,
I don't know. I just remember seeing it on paper.
Yeah, the thing with stem cells is when you're an infant, no, when you're a zygote, like when you're still a baby, you have a lot of those. So those cells have the ability to become anything. They can become a neuron. They can
They're
become
like transformers, robots.
in disguise.
Yeah, I've not seen a movie yet.
The only thing that needs to happen is they need to reprogram and they will become anything. But they're only found in babies, and
Therefore, it's very
Dead babies.
controversial.
Yeah,
Very
it's
controversial.
very, there's very limited amount because once
Once
they're
you-
all used up, they're gone. And they're only produced during a certain part of the pregnancy.
Kind of like that Iraqi oil. Won't use it all, it's gone.
He's funny.
Oh, right. Okay. Anything else on this topic? What is your weapon of choice? Hey, John Farley, we're gonna wait because my topic's coming up next. This is a little segue for what's coming next. Okay. Anything else on this topic? Okay.
Cool topic.
I really enjoyed that one. Okay, so like always, we're four guys on the couch. Thank you for staying through 3 topics. Like always, I'm your host Henry. We got Jason over there. He's tying Chris Skelton for number 5 for number of appearances. Gavin just made his debut tonight, and Brian's at a good old 3. That puts him like in the top 10, I think. Which I think there's only been 10 people on the show. He's not top 5. He's not top 5 because I'm number 0. Okay, so my time. Because I'm the host. It's at my house. Okay, so my topic. This can kind of stem out into John Farley's question, you know, what's going to cause the apocalypse? Not like, you know, rapture quality apocalypse. I'm talking about like the end of civilization as we know it. You know, like there's no more structure, there's no more lights going on. We don't have electricity. You know, something like, you know, there's Revolution, there's Walking Dead. You know, all these different things. Jericho. You know, all these different scenarios, even like Fallout, Last of Us. You know, those kind of scenarios where there is no real civilization left, and we're kind of stuck in this overgrown nature taking over type of world. So that's my question. What do you think is going to cause that collapse?
I'm going to take this one. I guess first of all, I'd like to bring up the very realistic possibility of antibiotic-resistant antibiotic-resistant bacteria.
So you think everyone's going to
I think with the rate of adaptation of certain diseases to drugs that are being put out in the market, I can easily see, you know, an antibiotic-resistant bug just infecting the human race.
I'm taking over, but to go against that though, the thing with antibiotics is most scientists have been targeting the same spots, and bacteria have learned how to adapt to that. Now the thing is, okay, fine. So what are we going to?
Viruses aren't affected by antibacterials.
No.
Yeah.
They're antivirals.
No. So the thing is now scientists are going to focus on, okay, fine. What method? No, what pathway? What makes this thing tick? Like, which part of this bacteria can we attack that's not going to allow it to adapt as fast, or that's not going to allow it to change as fast? Because most bacteria communicate by transferring DNA.
Yeah.
So this bacteria that has learned to survive under our conditions transfers that DNA to the next bacteria, and then that bacteria becomes like a super bug.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, John Farley gave us an answer.
Yep.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Okay. Because I talked to one of my friends is a microbiologist, and she says if you're gonna have like zombie type thing, that honestly The Walking Dead is The Last of Us is the closest thing, having something like a cordyceps, which is a kind of mold that takes over and controls fire ants. It grows into them, and then in The Last of Us, it's like a mutated version of that takes over humans.
It also does it on certain bugs.
Yeah, but fire ants is like the usual example. Like something like this has the highest amount of probability compared to a mutating virus or something, because that can easily be stopped by weather, really easily. Everyone just moves up to the polar ice caps, or everyone goes to Antarctica because viruses and bacteria usually can't accumulate at that kind of level. That's not what we're talking about, right? unless that's your answer.
That does not exist.
There is.
Ain't no global warming.
There's no such thing.
Maybe, okay. But you know, like this is your answer. This is what's most likely going to happen compared to like zombies with,
Funny enough, the United States military is prepared for a zombie apocalypse.
No, we talked about this earlier.
Yeah, the CDC also released a paper on that.
Yeah. I have my zombie planned. Weapon of choice is a katana, just because The Walking Dead showed me that's the weapon of choice.
I'll just share mine. Boomstick.
Do you mean pretty much? You mean like what's it called? No, I forget. A blunderbuss?
Just a shot with some hollow points.
So you mean a shotgun?
Yeah.
Okay. Jason, your weapon of choice, zombie apocalypse, go.
I'd go with a katana too.
Lightsaber.
Okay. Obviously, he has a lightsaber, so.
That just
Okay.
exists.
So for me, what I think will end civilization as we know it is natural disaster. I think it would be, if you look at it like, whenever a big natural disaster happens, like Katrina in New Orleans, that was kind of like end of civilization for a number of weeks for those people. You know, watching all the footage on the news. Same thing with like tsunamis in Southeast Asia. You know, all those earthquakes there. Anything that happens, the monsoons, you know, all these different things. It's kind of like a mini apocalypse, you know.
Well,
for them.
not so much. I think particularly it's going to be an earthquake. It's going to be a natural disaster. Because we can predict pretty much every other natural disaster that there is. But earthquakes are so unpredictable just because of
Tsunamis
where
aren't
they're
as predictable. I mean, you can see it coming within maybe like 24 hours in advance, but I mean,
How much time do you want to move?
and how big is the tsunami itself? How far of the reach is it going to have? So that's always in question. I do think it'll be that. I do not think it'll be nuclear war because that's not going to happen. Because there's so much nuclear deterrent between the nations, and unless someone's stupid like Iran does it, which it's kind of
I
not.
don't think Iran would. Iran's starting.
No, but
to-
I mean, I think it would be an accidental, like, you know, they're experimenting with stuff. Ryan, don't dump Cheetos all over my carpet.
Oops.
That oops moment where like a melt.
Who pushed that button?
I can also see like if something happened, like a massive EMP pulse around the whole world, and it causes every single like nuclear reactor to go critical.
Nukes do that too, though. Nukes create an electromagnetic pulse.
But I'm saying, like, you know, if you look like in Japan with when their reactor went down, you know, something like that on a global scale could really wipe out a lot of stuff. Also, EMP pulse that never lets the lights come back on. You know? That's taught if you hear that.
There's some there's some devices that do have EMP shields though.
Yeah. Then are they going to have the electricity to generate them?
That's the thing. Because I know I've spent time fixing items, and there are certain parts that are designed to ward off electromagnetic pulses.
What about you, Gavin? What do you think is going to cause the end of civilization as we know it?
I think more of a Big Brother type of situation. Anarchy by a government that takes total control.
You mean like, what is it, what's this book that we read?
1984?
1984. Yeah.
Exactly. Just,
Pure anarchy.
I feel that the government will, either one or two big governments will take over and create such a society where they control the food, they control the water, and if you don't do what they say, they won't give you food or water.
Kind of like but also a famine going into effect type of thing. Like a couple other accumulations of that. What are you saying? Like, because I can see like a superpower like the EU, instead of being a bunch of countries that form this union, it could eventually become its one country. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I can also see that with, you know, the United States and Canada can blend so well together. South America.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a state.
It's just our friend. They're already one of us. They just have more expensive stuff, and I don't see Africa being like that though, because y'all are very conflict. It's like y'all have pride for where you come from.
That's right.
Africa!
Africa!
There's so many languages there, though. It's like,
There's so much hate between the different tribes.
groups.
Yeah, so I don't think they'll ever. If that does happen, that would be the first one. If that ever happens, pure anarchy on the streets. That would be. Because Africa, really,
We're very individualistic.
if y'all lose your grid, Africa is screwed.
Africa doesn't really have much of a grid.
So y'all aren't screwed.
Africa can survive without electricity. I mean,
What about New Zealand?
I'm saying that because growing up, I'm not saying that we could totally survive.
For reference, for anyone that doesn't know, oh gosh darn it! But Jason's Nigerian.
Growing up, there wasn't constant electricity like it is here. So you have to learn how to have fun without it. If you're lucky, you have a generator, and generators run gas. And gas is expensive. So if you don't have money to get gas, yeah, there were Christmases where there was no electricity, so that was like, it's Christmas and there's no light. This is important. What kind of Christmas is this? So Africans know how to survive without that.
Europe, pretty much Europe, that, Eastern Asia, you can even say the Middle East, especially since they're exploiting themselves to that point of, let's spread the wealth among our citizens type thing and try and go ridiculous, crazy other stuff. And then us, I don't see as, I think South America, Central America is kind of the same boat. I was going to say dudes, I think I'm Canadian, but they're in the same boat as you guys. I think they'll be able to survive as well, even though they have more infrastructure than y'all.
Well, just to draw positive from your situation where you mentioned you had no idea on like Christmases and stuff. I used to give you time to, revel in the true meaning of Christmas.
No.
Electricity made it better. Because imagine, okay, so it's around that time of year when it's a bit cooler. Not like extremely cold. Our cold's like 74 degrees. 74 degrees, at most 70 degrees. So it's around that time of year, and there's some Christmases when it wasn't even cold, like when it was like the 80s, mid 80s that night.
-40 in Russia.
Represent right up in there. And in Texas, you just never know. Just don't know. Like this year was cold for Christmas, and the year before that was like 90 degrees, and the year before that, I don't even remember.
You mean winter was like, it'd be like, I don't know, icy on a Tuesday and burning up on the Wednesday.
Basically. Yeah.
Texas
Continue.
Texas is bipolar.
Basically. What? You were saying?
No, you were going on with your comment.
Oh no, I was just, I mean, with the electricity thing, we learned to survive.
I think America would have the least. I'm getting dinner. Bye, guys. Great show. Love you, Louis.
Love you, Louis.
We cherish your friendship and your viewership.
Auf Wiedersehen.
You should watch us on your phone as you're leaving.
That's Vidania.
Just leave your computer on. That's not.
Okay.
Just leave it on there.
You?
Yeah. I think the U.S., Canada, Europe. No, I'm just gonna say U.S. because we feel entitled as a nation, and I don't think, even though, somehow the zombie shows and like all the other stuff show that, we can survive in this environment. No, I think it's gonna be like 20 times worse. There's not a lot of people who are gonna die very quickly because we're not good at adapting. We don't like our Christian lives.
Yeah, we
I mean, there'll be few people, like Southerners, I think, will be the most likely. Southerners in North or Midwest, like your Nebraskas, your Idahos, those guys, those farmers, those Dakotans, all those people.
There's
And that one.
shotguns.
Texas would be the exception. Texas would survive. The number of guns in this state.
No, that's what I'm saying. The South and the Midwest, I think, will be fine. Because I think everyone's well armed. Everyone actually knows how to survive in the wild. At least not the people that live in like Metro, Houston, San Antonio, Dallas. But I think like everyone else will be fine. And we have most of the cattle ranches. Number one exporter of beef in America, right here up in Texas.
What's the meat swallow?
Good time, man.
Mad cow disease.
I'm just saying
All
that.
zombie meat. Sorry.
But no, but the zombies never affect other animals.
Vegetarians. We're gonna be vegetarians.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. I'll be a fruitarian.
Free Morris.
Hey, there's always mushrooms.
Shrimp.
Yeah, I'm
Alaskans will be fine. We should move. That's our zombie plan. We'll move to Alaska.
Good point.
Yeah. But while we're in shrooms, I think Henry did a few of them and got big, you know? Mario style.
About Alaska, that should be. Because you know what? They have their own separate grid. They'll probably run well. Because theirs is mostly based off gas.
Or everyone just quits and goes to Russia.
Nah, there's tigers in Russia. They'll hunt us down.
They're probably part of the KGB.
Probably part of the KGB. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think it will happen in our lifetime. It could at the very end of our lifetime. It could happen tomorrow for all I really know. I think there's certainly situations. I could see World War III happening
I don't know what
in the next 4 or 5 years.
we could run a Social Security, and then all the seniors go absolutely crazy. That. I mean, it's supposed to happen within our lifetimes.
Yeah, it is. I think it'll be restructured by the time.
Senile apocalypse.
Senile Where's my walker?
The seniors are coming. The seniors are coming.
Walk! You can walk!
like they're walking to chase after you and they just fall
No,
out.
but they'll be like the real zombies, because zombies aren't
Life
fast.
alert.
Like, help, I've fallen, but I can't get up.
No, but that would be like real zombies, because, you know, zombies can't run fast. But it's the horde, when there's a bunch of them, you know, they somehow horde you and you die. Be the same way. Senile apocalypse, that's what I'm reading for number 1. Reading for number 1. Senile apocalypse is going to happen. Y'all agree?
Sure.
That's the best one.
You know what's worse?
But,
We all become seniors one day.
so it never ends.
Oh no, we have to find that gene that ages us.
Jason, did you ever say what you think?
Yeah.
Okay. So I said natural disaster.
Anarchy.
You can't remember anything. I don't think you said anything. You were just talking off of our comments.
What did Brian say?
Brian said like zombie apocalypse.
What?
I'd say an EMP.
What did you say?
Super bug, mutated bug.
Yeah, zombie apocalypse.
I don't know if I can go that far.
Would you rather say plague?
Yeah.
Plague? Okay.
I'd say an EMP pulse.
EMP pulse? Okay. Well, if there's anything else to say, demonstrate your best zombie walk. Get up there, Jason. Get up there. Show the world. Because I do all the demos on this show. You need to get up there.
I'm good.
Brian.
I'll go there.
This is what I would do.
Thank you everyone for watching tonight. We are always live on good old Saturday at 7:30. Except for next week, we'll be live. It's Sunday at 7:30. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, talk in the comments. We always love you guys. We do everything for you. We're doing a podcast for you. And remember, Jason is weird. Just have a great week.
It's good to visit.
It'll.
Now the awkward silence where we're not on air anymore. Talk about stuff, guys.
Yeah, whatever.
No.
We're too good for these people.
Yeah. You haven't stopped broadcasting?
They wish.